What's up, CCT? It's your main man, Joe Blackburn, fresh back from my trip to Belize, getting prepared for the CCT conference. But boy, do we have a treat today. I am beyond honored, and I am so excited to bring on my hero, John McAfee. So as soon as he gets on, I will be adding him in. But look, CCT, this is a big deal. This is somebody who we all have seen and brought on with, and he's all over the news. He represents Bitcoin exceptionally well. A certain, I don't even know how to say it. He's just got, it's John McAfee. His persona. It's who he is. And as soon as he is available, we're going to bring him on. But I wanted to make sure that we also address this part too, and that is that that he deserves our respect. I don't care what your political opinions are, what he said. I don't care whatever you may or may not disagree with or disagree with. We're only going to do this the right way. And so please don't ruin this opportunity for you or other people. All right. And so I'm going to invite him on right now. Give me 1 second. Oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on. I got to do something. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Bear with me. I'm going to put this down for a second. Y'all be patient. All right. So this is going to be fun, everybody. Un momento. Hey, Rosnick, if you're watching, can you tag? Well, maybe I can do it. It's coming, though, everybody. Don't worry. Just trying to make sure we get him in. All right, so anyways, all right, I want to tell a little story while I'm making this happen. A good friend, there's been several people who reached out. I don't know if everybody remembers when I did one of my last live videos. I was talking about how I wanted to get John McAfee on, and I've had several people, awesome members, really try to bring him on. And everybody's efforts and hard work for trying to do that was just amazing. But I definitely want to make sure that Rostic Rusov, who's a member of this group, was one of the few people who were able to make it happen. So Rostic, cheers to you, brother. I am waiting to get him on right now. 1 second, y'all. All right. 1 second, everybody. I know. Okay. All right. So right there. Here we go. All right. So going back to that, I just tagged our friend. All right. John should be on any minute. All right. So, okay. So going back to this, I'm going to go ahead and say this again. It's just an honor to potentially, have anybody of his caliber on, let alone to actually bring on John McAfee. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, everybody knows he's doing he's got a ICO himself, McAfee Coin. We're going to be just shooting the shit with John McAfee. Ask your questions if he's time. We're going to make sure that that he answers them. We already talked about that a little bit. And please, let's hold everybody accountable for this. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it. So we're going to do this right. And so as soon as he gets on, we're going to see here. 1 second. Put this phone down. I'm trying to tag him, make sure he knows what's... Oh, there we go. Get ready, everybody. Here we go. Joe, the one and only.
How are you
What's
doing,
up,
sir?
John? Everybody, please welcome Mr. John McAfee here to CCT. We're so proud to have you, John. It's truly an honor. I don't know how much you know about me or not, but on my last live video, it was a very, very successful one. I called you my hero, and this conversation is a direct result of me, just being so excited about your moderation to the bet you originally had made, along with the fact that you're just a hell of a crypto supporter and Bitcoin supporter. So I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you for coming to join us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. One of how this live videos work is there's several personalities on this page. This page was created in April. We are a social community. We are not a true business only oriented. We have fun and we enjoy each other and we get to know each other. And a lot of this community knows about you. We post about you often. We are more than enthralled just to have you here. But tell me a little bit about, like, John, how you got started in crypto to begin with.
Well, I got drugged kicking and screaming by my friends a few years back. They insisted that I get into it. I read Satoshi's white paper. It was beautiful. I've been a believer ever since.
Oh, man. All right. So, and how long ago was that? 4 years ago.
4 years.
Now, you're one of the people, like, in this industry, just in tech, that has just incredible reputation. You're known as someone who's just absolutely brilliant. You've done so many different things throughout just the tech community, let alone for crypto. And you've got your project coming up, McAfee Coin. Do you want to speak about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, just a little. It's it's uniquely geared toward investment. I've connected with one of the largest funds in China, $40 billion. They're going to tokenize their choice of who gets funded. For example, the way funding works today is if you have a tomato that rolls down a conveyor belt without bruising, that's probably going to win out over something like renewable energy, because the VCs will know, oh yeah, Monsanto will buy it, so on and so forth. What about a world where we get to choose the technology that our children and their children will get to live with? Because that technology, that emerging companies that create things like the telephone I'm using, if we get to choose, and if there are millions of us choosing, then the VCs win out because they have millions of customers. We win out because we get to choose ourselves what we want to see in a new technology. Would you rather have a tomato that doesn't bruise, or would you rather have renewable energy or something else? You get to choose. And that's the basis of this. We're coming out the first of next year with our ICO. And I think that it will certainly help the world.
Absolutely. And, I mean, just from my, small understanding of what all you're trying to do, it just seems, I'm a huge believer in real world applications when it comes to ICOs and these crypto projects. And I just absolutely am just so excited about seeing more and more of these happen. And, regulations coming for the same reasons why, so many people have made money in this. We need to have that, that sense of stability, but it kind of goes against us as a community. What we all got in this originally, especially the OGs, the original gangsters of crypto, some of my mentors, it's kind of a heartbreaker in its own way, because we're losing so much of our innocence and what we used to be. What do you have any possible comments or any thoughts on how, like, someone who's been in similar to some of these other people, how they should feel about regulation coming up in the future?
Well, first of all, how do you regulate a truly distributed system? Through legislation? How is that going to help? How do you enforce that legislation? I mean, if all of us are in our homes using our phones, our laptops, our pads, how do you know what we are doing? That is the issue. So legislation will not work. Technology cannot work. Currently, we have centralized exchanges. There is a new technology using distributed exchanges where you and your own wallet become part of that exchange. How do you shut that down? Now, I was supposed to speak in Beijing in September. The week before I was due to arrive, China outlawed ICOs and shut down a bunch of exchanges. The conference was moved to Hong Kong. To everybody's credit, every single keynote speaker that was due to speak in Beijing showed up in Hong Kong. That is how dedicated this community is. I was there with Roger Ver, with Jihan Wu, both of them good friends of mine, and there was a sense of camaraderie, a sense that we were sort of refugees from legislation. That those laws in China shut down nothing. People are still, buying and selling Bitcoins. They are still using exchanges. They're just not using the exchanges in China. So I do not think that regulations will help anything. Neither will it stop anything. It will merely cause the current centralized exchanges to move to other locations. And when distributed exchanges come, there's simply no way. You cannot shut it down.
Absolutely. And so, and in part, what McAfee Coin is going to allow is something similar to that. Is that correct?
It is, yes. It is. Our wallet will have a distributed exchange in it.
That is so cool. And CCT, just so everybody knows, I mean, I don't know how familiar it is with everybody most people in here are going to know who John McAfee is, obviously, because we discuss him often in our group. But, if you haven't looked into McAfee Coin, you definitely want to make sure you do that. There's a lot of really cool things going on with what John's doing. And, of course, he's one of the most brilliant minds. We all know the products that he's put out, so we can only believe that it's going to be secure, and we can only believe that we're going to get updates, right? We're going to get lots of updates I also expect that your team is probably pretty top notch. I know Yale is one of the guys who I've heard of from one of our members who's spoken with him before, and Yale is what I understand one of the most regarded and brilliant minds in the industry. Is that correct?
He is, yes. We're also basing our platform on Universa, which I think will give us great advantages. But I'm not here to promote my coin. I'd rather talk about what's happening in the world of Bitcoin, Monero, and something else.
Let's talk about that. Let's start with Bitcoin. Right now, I'm looking at, I think I saw last that we were around 12,700-ish on the index. That's just looking on BitMEX. Yes. But, look, this run is absolutely epic. I just remember when we were sitting around $8,000, I kept saying to myself, at 10,000, we're going to have this massive pullback, and we never saw it. Why do you think that happened?
Oh, why should there be a pullback? We have a limited number of coins, 21 million, that can ever be mined. 4 million of them have been lost. So that's 17 million. These coins will never increase in number. Yet the number of users is going to increase geometrically. Run the numbers, please. It cannot fall back, and it is just beginning to explode in value.
I agree. And of course, everybody in this community, for the most part, is going to agree with that assessment. What do you think the best strategy is to get it out to the masses? The more people that are in, the more money it comes. Do you think it's something we need to start pushing as a community, or just continue to let it grow just organically and let the media handle all that?
Well, I think the problem with growth is most people do not understand the underlying technology, and it frightens them. Number two, we are using a new paradigm, and that paradigm does in no way connect to the old paradigm of investments, stocks, growth. People were happy to get 10% a year. We get 20% a day sometimes with some of these cryptocurrencies, and it's consistent. Now, is this a bubble? Absolutely not. It is a new paradigm in which everything is accelerated. It is a digital currency. You must expect what would take a year in the normal world to happen in a week in the world of cryptocurrency, including things like the valuation. It is a paradigm which few people understand. And for example, one of the great legends of trading last week said he's predicting Bitcoin at 14,000 by the end of 2018. I promise you, it's going to be 14,000 before the end of January. Why? Because I understand the dynamics and the mathematics, as you probably do. So for people to think, it's going to be 14,000, good God Almighty, get real, people. Start looking at what is actually happening.
Hey, and John, I'll tell you this. You don't know this, but many people here watching this do know this, and that is back in around July, August time, we were, probably $3,000, $4,000 Bitcoin at that moment. I predicted $13,000 Bitcoin by February. By February. Now, unfortunately, this is a closed group, and that video can't be shared with all the other people where I made that video at. But nevertheless, people thought I was crazy, even in this group. You know, even some of my friends, they're like, Joe, you should not make that prediction. Well, who's laughing now, CCT? Not me. I mean, no, it is me.
You're $300 away.
Exactly. We're
$300 away.
And, you know, especially if I was talking in Australian dollars, I think I saw somewhere that it sold for like $20,000 today at some point, you know, Australian dollars. That's just a huge number, you know, and I mean, it's so special to be in. If you were in this year, this was the year that Bitcoin really made its move and really pushed us into the public's eye. And it's like from here on out, life is good. If you're in Bitcoin, I don't care how much you have, people, hold it. It's going to be great. You know, I mean, John, like you've seen it for the last 4 years. I haven't been in as long as you. I've a little less than 2 years. But, you know, just to watch this community be what they are, and for people like you, we can't say thank you enough on that.
Well, you're very welcome for what little I do. All I'm doing is trying to tell the world the reality as I see it. And if you understand the dynamics, the mathematics, the limited number of coins, please God, I made a prediction of $1 million by the end of 2020. I promise you it's going to be.
Oh my gosh.
So I will not have to eat my number, I promise you.
Hey, you know what? I almost, just because of who I am, I just want to make that bet with you. So people at CCT, just put my name underneath John McAfee's if that's appropriate, John. Because look, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, everybody in the world heard you say that. And it was probably one of the most epic moments in Bitcoin. For whatever people might want to say about it, it made its mark. And people heard about it. And it was the shot heard around the world when it comes to Bitcoin. Would you agree?
Well, not just that. It's immediately after people like James Altucher said, yes, it's going to be $1 million. The day after I said it's going to. So even mainstream people are trying to come on board.
Of course. All right. So are your friends and family, do they ever, I mean, it's kind of weird to say this about you, you know, but I mean, like I have friends and family that just do not want to buy Bitcoin. They just don't believe in it. And I mean, no matter how much they make, now it's more of an ego thing. So I'm sure, especially on your level and as positive and as sure of yourself when you speak like that, do people fight you on this still? Like even your close friends?
As a matter of fact, here, this gentleman here, you don't mind your face on, okay? One of my security people. I have been training him on cryptocurrencies, the blockchain, and Bitcoin. This gentleman here, another one of my security people. I've been training you, yes? So, no, everybody wants to learn. They come and say, can you help me? Can you help me understand it? What should I do? So I said, I'm going to start having classes in the morning just for everybody. So no, I get no resistance.
That's awesome. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't made it to that point yet. Maybe one day, you know, maybe one day we'll be eating dinner together or something like that. I head to Vegas on Thursday just in case you want to show up. You know, nevertheless.
No, I don't go to Vegas anymore.
I got a conference I'm going to with Token Magic, the company I work with. But John, it's just one of these moments, like for CCT especially, that you know it just shows like. It just goes to show what the community is. Someone like you, you're very, very influential. You're very well known. You still take the time to come on and talk about the little guy. And people, just so everybody knows, he didn't come on here saying, hey, how much time am I going to talk about McAfee coin? I want to do that for him because I believe we owe that to him, you know, as a community to make sure that he sees that, you know, that we want to hear about him too. But he didn't even not even one time say, how much can I talk about McAfee coin? So, I mean, this community is so special in that regards. This is one of the most famous people in crypto, John McAfee, and he's taking the time with us.
Again, I did not come on to promote my stuff. I came on to talk about what is relevant to everyone, and that is cryptocurrencies in general. Monero. Okay, here's another thing. I was on Alex Jones. I don't care what you think about Alex Jones. He is a good friend of mine, and he knows how to party. I could care less what his political and social views are. When he asked me to come on, I say, of course. But I mentioned that Monero is going to be an up-and-coming competitor. Why? Because it's all over the dark web. Everybody on the dark web has abandoned Bitcoin and moved to Monero. Why? It's private and anonymous, 100%. Unfortunately, Bitcoin can be unwound. Not that I care. I don't do anything illegal. So, but it's really big. The price of Monero went from $290 to almost $300. In fact, it passed $300 this morning. It's a very widely overlooked cryptocurrency, which I think people, not to replace Bitcoin, but for use where you really don't want anybody involved in your business.
Absolutely. And, I made a post about this, and unfortunately I left Monero out of it, but there's other reasons. I'm be writing an article about the privacy coins, but I've said that with regulation and with eyes on, that privacy coins are going to be the big thing in 2018. And so it's really cool to hear you say that as well. What do you think about coins like Dash and maybe like Verge? I don't know how much you know about them, but what would you say about those two?
Well, I have a lot of people who call me about Verge. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think Verge has a very committed community that is marketing very well. I believe that Monero is vastly superior to Verge. I'm sorry to say that. It's time tested and proven. But again, I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot tell you in the future what will.
And people, this is not financial advice in any way whatsoever. This is a brilliant mind. Don't ever take this the wrong way. As I state this, and John, just so you know, I do this all the time. As far as, hey, look, we can only give our opinions. We cannot give a trading advice, and we're not going to. We're talking about real world applications here too.
Yeah, I do not want to be responsible for anybody's investment. I don't want someone DMing me saying you said such and such and it didn't happen. Listen, you're all adults. I'm not advising you to do anything. I'm giving you my opinion.
And one of my good friends, Rev Neeson, he's a legend here on CCT, and he's also he's a part of the admin moderator team. He was talking about Monero yesterday, and as he was just calling it, as we kept going up, it was just incredible to watch one of his calls again go forward. But I'm not a huge Monero guy, but I have my own reasons for that, and I've always kind of felt, and this is just my personal opinion, and do not make me look stupid here, John, please. I would appreciate that. But I've always, like compared to Dash, and I know that they're different. And Dash is a fork from Bitcoin, and Monero. My issues with Monero are that they constantly need funding from the community, which happens, and it continues to happen. And if the community is okay with that, it's okay, But does that end at some point? Is that something where it just gets devalued one day because of the funding that they need from the community? If it doesn't continue to happen, what happens to Monero? That's kind of been my only problem with it for some time.
Right, and I do not know the answer to that. I do not. I think that the money needs will disappear.
And you're agreed. We just got to catch up to that point. But man, well said.
The other nice thing about Monero is you can still mine Monero with GPUs.
Correct.
And I think that's a positive. It uses less electricity.
Yep. All right. So what about other which way do you think crypto is moving? With all the recent developments and all the new interests, what do you see happening over the course of 2018? What do you see as the big shift?
I think ICOs will probably decline in number. We have over 1,000 of them. 90% are garbage. They're scams. They're people who want the money. Nothing will happen with the coins, but the founders will be out on their yachts and Rolls Royces. So be very careful with ICOs. However, some of them are astonishing, and some of them are profoundly useful. BitIndia, as I'm involved with BitIndia. I have a big stake in them. Why? Because a wallet is a bank.
Absolutely.
If you have a wallet, any cryptocurrency, you are your own bank. Access to banks in rural India is very, very difficult. And so people like farmers who want to buy new cows or what have you are handicapped by access to funds, access to these facilities. With a wallet, you are your bank.
Absolutely.
And BitIndia is also a distributed exchange. The wallet itself contains the exchange. It's magic almost. It cannot be shut down.
It really is. It truly is a Swiss bank account in your pocket. It's a unique time that we live in. I mean, people have gone through many links just to have the opportunities that we have at the touch of a finger. These days, and in the past, it's so special for us to be in this time. And I know you already agree with that, but the people watching, I truly I want to challenge you to think about what other time has ever seen this potential in monetary growth and financial wealth. But it's more than that. It's building our own country within the internet. And I'm so proud to be part and to lead this community the way that you guys have let me, and to have someone like John come on right now and just give us these thoughts. This is a brilliant man, people, and he might be humble about it and may not say anything, after I say that. But this is a unique experience just for us on CCT. And John, I'll ask you this too. As 2018 moves in and we see Bitcoin increase, the FOMO, right? The FOMO from the public will start. And, I've heard several different things where once we hit 10,000, that's when the real investors would start taking us a little bit more seriously. Do you think that maybe they were taking us just a little bit more seriously beforehand, just a little quieter? Because, it's kind of been a taboo for Wall Street for some time. I mean, now CME, now with other things. What are your thoughts?
Well, it depends on what you mean by taking us seriously. To take it seriously means to dig into it and truly understand what cryptocurrencies are. I think few of the mainstream are doing that. They're merely looking at the price rise and going, geez, how can we tag on to this? How can we get our clients involved? That's not taking us seriously. I think that the people who are going to take us seriously will be our enemies. Governments that are fearful of losing income, because if you don't know how much money someone's making, how do you tax that? Banks are fearful. So 2018, I think, is going to be the year of backlash, not in terms of the Bitcoin price, but in terms of the institutions that are going to be harmed, fighting back. So if you're in this community, and you said it very well, like we're of an internet within the internet. Sorry.
Oh, John. Right.
You're in this community. Be prepared. Be prepared to fight. Be prepared to have people try and stop you from being what we really are. So, in all seriousness, we're going to have a war. It won't be fought with guns, but it will be fought with words, with regulations, with all kinds of spite directed at us. Be prepared for that. If you truly believe in this, you will fight for it.
And there's a lot of different motivations on this page, and I've always hit on this as one of the things. And John, I know your time's short, and so I won't keep you too much longer, but I do want to relay.
Yeah, a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that's fine, and we'll finish up right here. Just to touch on what you just said, it's coming, people. The motivations that we all have here typically have to start and end with money, but there's more to it than that for the people who really have been here for a while. So be courteous of that. And when you see that, people, just make sure that you hear what John just said, and let's do this together. We are a team, we are a community, and let's love each other and take care of this community. The cryptoverse belongs to every one of us.
This does not have to be about money. It does not. It should be about our children and our children's children, the future generations, and what we leave behind. Now, the money, great. If that comes, it comes. But in all sincerity, the blockchain is revolutionizing the world and giving power back from those that control us to us controlling ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I do have to go.
No, don't. Hey, I kept you too long. I'm so thankful. Hey, CCT, much love to John McAfee. Hey, we'll see you soon, John, okay? Thanks so much. Keep fighting the fight. Right. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Whoa! That was John McAfee, everybody. That was cool. All right, look, that just shows where CCT as a community. There is nobody doing more. Rev, I'm gonna bring you on 1 second. There's nobody doing more for this community than what everybody here is doing right now. Every one of you has played a part in having the opportunity to have someone like John McAfee come on. All right. And so, that just shows the strength of us and what we've been doing. What a awesome experience. John McAfee is one of my heroes, man. I'm not talking about anything when it comes to politics. I'm not commenting nothing about, what you might think. He stands up for us. And I'm so freaking proud to just have him on. Thank you, John. If you're still watching, man, it was just an honor. It was an honor. All right. Let's get some thoughts from the community real quick. What up, Rev?
What's happening, my man?
What'd you think about that?
Honestly, he had some amazing insight as to, and some amazing points in that they were just incredible. And if you people were actually listening, some of the things he said, we will have a war, and not a literal war, but a crypto war where we have to stand for it at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And, we've said that time and time and time again, crypto is about community. It comes down to being one and working together at the end of the day to finally have freedom in general life, right, at the end of the day. Because right now in life, Joe, and I'm sure a lot of people understand this, a lot of people are going to work, slaving away for a company just to end up, having an hour or two at home in a house that they don't actually own because it's owned by banks.
Yep.
So I think he hit some major points there. He even said, "This is my opinion. You're all adults. Make your own decision on your at the end of the day." He was what an incredible live, Joe. Honestly, thank you so much, man. You don't understand. And if people don't see it and take something from it, you're not doing it right.
It's true.
I'm going to watch that live video probably about 3-4 times and take some notes on exactly what he said. This man knows what's up.
Yep.
Right. He's been around.
Exactly right.
He's been around the freaking court quite a few times. So if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, Rev, I need to take this time to say this too. It's to have the opportunity, just kind of like what I was saying a second ago, to have the opportunity to bring someone on like John is a direct result from the foundation and the groundwork that you and Todd and Kurt and myself and all the other contributors, Zach and Eric and everybody else, Ben, Justin, Nate. I mean, all of us, we all laid the foundation for this community. We all bought into what we were trying to do here. And look what just happened. We just had John McAfee, the guy who's going to eat his own member if he doesn't get to $1 million now, right? I mean, it's just what a special moment, man. And that comes from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for everything you've done too, Rev. I mean, it's going to be, we got to, hey, the worst is yet to come for us. We're going to see, I mean, as a community, it's coming, just like as you said, and this war is going to be fought like in the sense where we have just ourselves to back ourselves up. We don't have anybody else. We have got to stick together, and people listen to that. We are a family. The cryptoverse belongs to all of us. We have to take care of it and take care of one another.
100%, 100%. And, and that's what kills me. I did a live video a few hours ago and I rambled on with the haters that are coming onto the scene. If you've been in crypto 2, 3, 6 months or even a year and you think that you can just go out there and troll on people that have been there for
Yep.
You're not going to last. So, and that kills me because crypto was built on community. Crypto was built on support. Crypto was built on building relationships like me and yourself have right now, Joe, from across the globe, from not knowing each other from the start of the year to, catching up to one another and catching up with one another, shaking one another's hand. And now I'll call you my brother at the end of the day.
Yep, exactly right.
From all likes of the world. So at the end of the day, those people will not last. And I've seen it time and time again, but this year has been on another level due to, I guess, mass adoption, which I expected as well. And a lot of us that have been around for a while have expected this for a long time. So, no, honestly, but if this video does not get at least 20,000 views, I will literally be tripping balls.
I know. Agreed.
Because I'm personally going to go watch it 4 times over just to take notes on what that man said.
Yep.
So once again, Joe, thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you so much for bringing him on here. I don't know how you did it, but
no, it wasn't me. Rostic, my boy Rostic. Make sure y'all follow that dude. That dude made that happen. All right, Rostic Russo. He look. I mean, there were several others who reached out too. I mean, and I don't want to discount them. There were several others. Rostic made that happen though. When he called me, I was in Belize. And he was like, oh, no, I was about to leave for Belize. He's like, hey, Joe, look, I think I actually might be able to get, John McAfee to come do this. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you messing with me, bro? Are you messing with me? And he was like, no, man. He's like, it's like, okay, all right. We talked about a few other things. And not that I didn't take him seriously. I just still thought it was kind of a pipe dream. Like, are you sure? Next thing you know, he's like, Joe, wake up. I mean, I've got like 5 messages. McAfee's ready to go. I'm like, oh, what? We didn't even have time to prepare. I spoke to him maybe 10 minutes before. We didn't talk about a single thing, you know? And so all that was kind of ad-lib. Nevertheless, we're lucky to have someone like John who kind of takes it on his own.
Honestly, legend, man. For the people that had anything to do with putting it together, and for yourself, Joe, every day, you know, I see you consistently taking that step forward. And let's be honest, right? Start of this year, Joe Blackburn that you know right now is not the Joe Blackburn that you would have known a year from now.
You were a big part of that, Rev. Huge part. I went from, you know, noob trader, because I'd held Bitcoin, asking you which coin should I buy, when Moon, when Lambo.
and there were good times, you know, good times. And I hope that people can, I guess, find the same sort of relationship with someone else out there. Yeah. I always support that, and hopefully they can go out there and revolutionize and create mass adoption to another level once again in the crypto space. So,
what time is it over there, Rev? What time is it right now?
It is 4:53 a.m.
Where are you driving to? Where are you going?
I went and caught up with a friend, just helped him go through his portfolio and had a look through what was going on. And I shared how to use cryptostat.org with him. And we made a decent trade. We jumped in with, you know, 15% of a BTC, and we exited the trade with like 27%. Really nice, quick trade in and out, because you can get that sort of data and you can make things happen. So, but
I tried to jump on that XMR run yesterday, but I was on a plane. I was on 2 different planes back and forth. I was like, I was scared. I wasn't able to get on it on time, but you know, nevertheless, great call on that, by the way, Rev.
Thank you. And once again, I had to keep that call internal. You know,
I understand. I didn't know that you didn't say anything about that. Yeah, but you know, it's a sad day. And listen, CCT, I'm gonna say something about that. You know, times when, you know, me and Rev, or, you know, Kurt or whoever, you know, want to say something, and we have been silenced. We've been silenced, and not because we're doing the wrong thing. It's because some people who perceive something and want to hate. It's been unfortunate that, you know, how much fun did we have during the Neo run, Rev? I mean, that was epic. Those were the golden days. You know, Neo absolutely was just incredible. It was just, what a wonderful time to be alive, literally. You know, and there's other coins that I know that both of us have kind of pinpointed and said, these could be the next ones. And guess what? We've been so limited now because, you know, we got to protect people. We do. And if people perceive us a certain way, we're doing the wrong thing. And we don't want to do the opposite thing, you know, of what, and that's protect and take care of, you know? And so, anyways, but people reach out, man, show these people some love, you know, Rev, Kurt, you know, Todd, Ash, Jen, Zach, Eric, Nate, Ben, Justin, Daniel, everybody else, you know, I mean, everybody works so hard here. You know, we're all very blessed.
Definitely. And by the way, guys, for the people watching, he didn't actually start it just then. We do have 2 Zachs.
Yes. Yep. 2 Zachs. Two Zachs. Zach Daniels and Zach Lutz.
Yeah. But no, look, there's always opportunity every single day in cryptocurrency to be smashing it out and be making money. And I've kind of mentioned it every now and then. I have gone quiet to the crypto world. I think it's time for me to go back to just doing me. I've been doing that for the last, you know, 2 weeks, working on obviously on the project that you all know of. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to promote anything to anyone. But the project that we had an ICO on earlier this year, and I'm working on that full time, and also going back to my trading personally the way I used to do it. And I'm having a ton of fun. Trust me, I'm having a ton of fun doing it because it just brings me back to, I guess it grounds me back down, you know, to what I'm used to. Yep. So, but you know, there will always be somebody out there that has to take the hit, and I think I've taken the hit enough. So maybe, you know, Joe, you've taken a few hits as well. A lot of people are taking a few hits, and someone else will come out of the ground and be like, "Hey guys, it's me. I've been doing this for a little while." So you just got to wait for that person to come back out and have the energy to go out for a whole another year again. the way I did this year and try and bring mass adoption to another level.
Of course. Of course. All right, Rev, we'll do this again soon, man. Hey, I hope you're good over there. I'm going to get off, get some food, and try to like just soak in everything that just happened. To John McAfee, if you're still watching, man, from the bottom of me, Rev, and many others, just thank you, man. It was truly just a wonderful experience to have you on, and just know that if anything you ever need from CCT, you've got.
What an absolute machine. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, John. Honestly, it's our privilege. It's our pleasure to have you on.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to remind everybody this too. John didn't ask for $1. He didn't ask for us to promote a single thing. He wanted to talk about crypto, y'all. That's what he wanted to talk about. He wanted to come on here and talk crypto with the community. I mean, that's a cool ass dude, bro. That's a guy who cares.
Oh yeah, man. That's the sort of person I want to be talking to over a drink.
Exactly right.
Jack Daniels to that. So
man, just I was a fanboy during that. I was trying to keep my composure. Hope I pretended well, because I was definitely a little excited. All right, anyways, all right, Rev, I'm out of here, man. Much love. CCT, thanks for the support. How awesome of opportunity this was. The video will be posted as soon as it's done. All right, Rev.
Thank you, Joe. Love you, bro.
Later,
Take
man.
care.
Bye.
Peace out.
Love you too. Bye. All right, guys. Peace out.